For Carey at half-back, short towards Weston. Weston, kick number 25 coming up for him. Towards the half-forward, McFarlane drifted down there. Schultz flies against him. Back comes Schultz, trying to use his body, does it well. Gives O'Brien, now it's Mark Pryor from half-back the opportunity. He runs through centre wing, now boots him towards the pocket. Looking down there for Van Dommel, knocked away by Lahoo. 16-14 Glenelg, 13-14 Central Districts. We've been playing for 23-minute mark of the final term. Your commentator, Ian Aitken.
The Bays have only added 1 goal in this last term, whereas Central Districts have added 3 goals, 8. And as Bob Hammond has told you, if they had have kicked straight, it would have been a different story. But wouldas and couldas don't make any difference to the final result. There's Jimmy Lahoo coming clear now for Glenelg. Kicks down towards the centre wing. Mutz should have taken the mark. Schultz was met rather heavily. Lahoo it is that kicks down towards Weston. Hand pass forward. Looking across to Robert Walters, who's been clearly beaten this afternoon. And a good mark in the last line of defence has been taken by Michael O'Brien. O'Brien clear to Baytheen. Baytheen has got support by Stephen Bowen. Stephen Bowen has got a paddock in front of him. He bounds off towards centre half forward, over towards Wilson. Not clear, taken by Graham Corns. The cool experience and calculating form of Graham Corns gets it across to Marshall. A long hand pass across to David Frost. His 6 goals has been of tremendous importance. Over it goes to Baytheen. Baytheen, Frost is signalling that he's held Baytheen, and Baytheen appeared to have control of the ball, but it's out of play.
Throw in to take place on the right half-forward flank for the Bays. From behind is McVicker. Gets the ball clear, looking for Corwell. O'Brien does battle with him and wins out. The handball not good, however. Putting the Clay under pressure. Across comes McKay. Opportunity now for Centrals. It's with Mark Pryor. Oh, there's a bad mistake. Almost intercepted by Walter. But O'Brien, Pryor rather has enough coolness to steady and get them out of a crisis. Back towards the centre of the ground. Opportunity for Cowie. Twists and turns. Wants support. Has it now from Schultz. Schultz towards half forward looking for Wilson. And Mulder has marked at centre half forward.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Central Districts in this quarter have really come alive. They've had players running all over the ground, and none has played better than their captain, Dean Mobbs. But it's Wilbur Wilson, the man in the limelight right at the moment. Wilson's
shot from 30 metres goes right through the middle of the goals, and there's only 12 points of difference. We've been playing 25 minutes of the final term.
Reached to any great heights in the first 3 quarters. It's been a spectacular and a great last quarter of football. Central Districts trailing by some 5 goals, 8 in the at 3-quarter time, are now only 2 goals behind, and they still have some 5 minutes left in which to bridge that 2-goal gap.
It's certainly a great game now as the umpire steps in to bounce the ball. I would think that John Hammond would, certainly not John Hammond, the coach of Glenelg would be worried as it's taken out once again down towards Jonas and over the top, and there's a real good mark taken by Ian McKay.
15-metre penalty as Coleman refused to get off his back, and that takes him up to a point where he just shouldn't miss this.
Quite right. Well picked by Bob Hammond. Coach John Halbert wouldn't like that lack of discipline. McKay's kick is a bad miss. 1 goal, 5 the difference.
Central Districts have added 4 goals, 9, some 13 scoring shots to 1 in this last quarter, and they've only, of the 13 shots, been able to register 4 goals, and that's cost them dearly. What they need now is 2 goals because they trail by 1 goal, 5, and they've got about 3 minutes left in which to do it.
Oh, what a shocking mistake there from Ian McKay. He stands on the mark and he hangs his head ruefully. Coleman, however, now to the outer side. Corns is there. From in front it's Duckworth, taken by Wilson. The handball towards Bowen, trying to burst his way clear. Now sets up play with a handball to Duckworth. Duckworth's handballs to the pocket. Here's the opportunity for Wilson. Where's he going to go? He pops one up high. Jonas knocked away. Back to Jonas. Has it been paid? Yes, it has. Peter Jonas is a long way from goal, however. Oh, good 50 metres, Bob.
Kicked 3 goals last week in the last quarter, and of course this becomes the most important kick that he's had today. Been a good player for Centrals, down early in the first half, but lifted dramatically in the second.
I think he's got it. Jonas from 50 metres has popped it through, and there's only 5 points of difference.
That's 5 goals, 9 they've added in the last quarter, Central Districts, to 1 solitary goal by Glenelg. Weren't playing well in the first 3 quarters, found cohesion, found running players, and been admirably led by Dean Mobbs.
All of a sudden, this game has become a tremendous game. And here's Peter Jonas in the replay. And as David Darcy has told you, it was a 50-metre kick for goal. And it was probably one of the most important, as once again, Central Districts through the avenue there of Milky. He has a look down ground. The lead is down there by Mackay, and it's intercepted nicely by Farquhar. A tremendous tackle by Jonas. The umpire calls play on. McFarlane gets it across. The kick away from Painter. Here's the chance now. O'Brien was there. Mutz kicks towards centre-half forward. Back the area of Jonas. Knocked to the ground. Taken. A quick hand pass across. Is good football. Picked up here by Marshall. Back it goes to Armfield. Armfield off the half-back flank onto Carey. Carey's got Corns. Corns has got it. A short kick down ground to Western. Can they hang on the Bays? They've only booted a goal in the last quarter. And Central Districts have been charging home. Kick number 26 for Paul Weston makes him the best player on the ground. Down towards the square. The opportunity. Bathine's back there. The tap away. David Frost, a most exciting player with a huge future, can't control the ball. And David Frost this afternoon has kicked 6 goals. How do you like that for the first full game?
That's a great effort by any player on a half-forward flank, especially a lad who's playing his first full game.
Great excitement here at Football Park. The throw-in very close to the Glenelg goal. They lead by 5 points. We've had 4 minutes of time on, and a scrimmage takes place.
5 points the difference, 29-minute mark and 20 seconds, and your commentator is David Darcy.
Umpire Hilton to bring the ball. Bounce down. Knock forward. Weston, is that the sealer? Oh, a great snap from Weston, and the game has been sewn up by a man who really deserved it here at Football Park. He's been best on ground. He's booted a goal at the telling stage of the final quarter. Let's have a look at it, Bob Hammond.
Well, he's a great player, Paul Weston. He's led his side admirably, and that was a magnificent snap for goal. 27 kicks out of the centre of the ground. Makes him Glenelg's best, and in fact probably makes him best on ground. Been a tremendous duel in the centre. Mobbs and Weston both have been their side's best players. Both of the captains, of course, of their respective sides.
Central Districts have been a tremendous last quarter from this side, but I'm afraid now that the task would be beyond them. 1-5 they're trailing from, and there's the siren. The task was beyond them. Final scores 17-14 Glenelg to Central Districts 15-15.
Well, Central's certainly had enough chances to win the game in the last quarter. Being down at 3/4 time by 6 goals too was certainly a very fine performance. But take nothing away from Glenelg. They controlled the game for the first 3 quarters and thoroughly deserved their win. But there's no doubt about it, both Centrals and the Tigers will be at Football Park come September and October. Looking at the best players, firstly for the Tigers, Weston, best man on the ground, Corns, Frost, the most exciting player according to Ian Aiken, and any player who in his first full game can kick 6 goals from the half-forward flank certainly puts in a fine performance. Hodgman, McVicker, Caldwell, Weston all kicked 2 goals for the Tigers. And for the Dogs, Mobbs, a tremendous performance. Cochrane and Mark Noiseworthy, their main goal kickers. Mobbs and Jonas each kicked 4 and Wilbur Wilson 3. Just some of the stats from the game today. Weston, the captain of the Bays, 27 kicks, 8 marks and 9 handballs. Mobbs, 24 kicks, 4 marks and 7 handballs, and Graham Corns 23 kicks, 10 marks and 10 handballs. So 3 players today certainly had a big influence on the game. And our congratulations to Peter Vivian, who today played his 216th league game with the Dogs, creating a record, eclipsing that of formerly held by Sonny Morey, who played 215 games. Back in 1 moment's time with David Darcy talking to Dean Mobbs and Paul Weston.
Joining me now is the respective captains of both sides. Firstly, Paul Weston and Dean Mobbs. Dean, congratulations. You've been chosen as the most valuable player today, firstly.
Thanks very much, Dave.
And I think I'll be giving a secret away, but I will do it, Paul. You've been voted best on ground today.
Oh, thank you.
Boys, together, it was the first half or the first 3 quarters to me appeared as though there was something wrong, either with the ground or the ball or the conditions, because neither side really handled the ball well in the first 3 quarters.
No, possibly not, but the pressure, Dave, was fantastic today, and you know, we expected it. Centrals have been building up for this game, and they have been playing a lot better than, you know, their first half of the year, and we expected them to hit us with everything, which they did, and you know, we couldn't really get away from them, and you know, that's why I think it was, you know, the standard might have looked a little bit poorer than probably in past games.
Dean, would you agree with that, the pressure was the main contributor?
Yeah, we tried to apply the pressure, but Glenelg were a little bit too good in their running players for the first 3 quarters, but then in the last quarter we decided we had nothing to lose, and we had plenty of legs left because we didn't do much in the first 3 quarters, so we put all stops out.
Talking about plenty of legs, he had plenty of legs in the last quarter.
You were chasing him?
Well, trying.
Dean, in that last quarter, let's get to it, you kicked 6 points straight before you kicked a goal.
We've had a bit of trouble in the last couple of weeks of getting them through the big sticks. We've kicked a lot of points, and possibly we need to do something at training in that regard.
You're looking at Daryl Hicks in the background?
Yes.
Paul, they had 14 scoring shots to your 2 in the last term.
In the last term, yes. Well, I mentioned to Jack Howard after the game that I thought that the 2 games last week on the Saturday and the Monday, you know, told on a few of our players today, and especially in that last quarter. Also, I thought Daryl Hicks's move of Duckworth into the middle was a tremendous move, and he certainly gave them a lot of drive. And of course, Dean, you know, was feeding off Duckworth, and they combined extremely well.
I mustn't forget the performance of David Frost.
No, tremendous performance, and he's got a tremendous future with the club. He was a real good player last year in the under-19s, and as you saw today, you know, he loves to take a mark and can kick the ball out of sight.
Dean, where do you think it came from for you in the last quarter? You said about the run, is that all or more? What did Daryl say to you at 3/4 time?
Well, one thing he said that we'll forget this game, we'll start again next week, and that sort of got the players a bit motivated, because we never, over the last 3 years, we've never gave a game in, and when he can come out with that statement, the players sort of got their backs up and had a decent go at Glenelg in the last quarter.
Paul, we should also mention the performance of Keith Coleman at fullback. I thought his was a great performance today, one of the best I've seen from him.
Yes, well, Keith's been playing pretty well actually, Dave, and he took a couple of real timely marks, strong marks in the last line of defence, and of course his kick, you know, 70 yards, and you know we're virtually into attack.
And also your fullback too, Dean. Bill Cochran did a magnificent job on Robbie Walter, who's been kicking a lot of goals this year.
Yeah, Billy's in fine touch of late, and you know, with stateside selection coming up again, he should be on the line again, I think.
Well, once again, congratulations. It was a magnificent last quarter, one that really brought the crowd to their feet, and both of your contributions were a great one. Thanks for that, and all the best for the rest of the season to both of you.
Thanks very much, Dave.
David Darcy there talking to 2 very talented footballers in Dean Mobbs and Paul Weston.